My name is Joy. I am a reproductive health coordinator at a local health facility. I have been trained by the Challenge Initiative as a master coach. As you may know, TCI supports local governments in poor urban areas to achieve lasting change by implementing high-impact practices and other interventions to improve access to quality family planning information and services. My local government's journey with TCI began when we submitted an expression of interest. From there we moved through startup, implementation and search, which is when we were implementing at peak capacity. We are now in our pre-graduation stage and will soon graduate and move to post-graduation in the coming months. Throughout these stages, TCI provides coaching to build a cadre of master coaches, like me. But the intensity of TCI's coaching declines as local coaches become more skilled. Coaching is at its highest intensity in the lead phase. It begins to taper down in the assist phase and eventually shifts to observe. After TCI direct support ends, the monitor stage continues for about 2 years. Coaching intensity tracks with TCI stages of engagement. TCI is in the lead throughout startup and at the beginning of the implementation stage. TCI then shifts to assist as the local government becomes more skilled, health systems strengthen and implementation surges. As the local government prepares for graduation, TCI steps back to observe. After graduation, TCI monitors the local government and provides coaching on demand. But exactly how does TCI strengthen local health systems and ensure that its interventions are embedded within those systems? What is the secret to continuing to see an impact in the number of women taking up an FP method after TCI support ends? The answers to these questions lie within TCI's theory of change. At first glance, TCI's theory of change looks a bit complicated. We are going to break it down so you have a clear understanding of how it all works together to create sustainable and cost-efficient impact at scale. To begin, we are going to start at the end with TCI's goal. TCI facilitates the greater self-reliance of local governments to scale up high-impact interventions. This leads to sustained improvements in urban health systems and increased use of modern contraception, especially among the urban poor. Who plays a role in achieving this goal? The actors include the local governments that submit expressions of interest to join TCI and pledge to contribute their own human and financial resources. The local governments engage with TCI through its 6 regional hubs to co-design their family planning program. The hub staff provide technical expertise, local knowledge and relationships. At the global level, TCI is responsible for overall management, accountability, monitoring, learning and evaluation, and knowledge management and communications. Investors such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Bayer AG also play a key role. Local governments partner with TCI to co-create a program while the investors provide strategic and financial support. Local governments carry out the activities detailed in the program design, including inclusively consulting with local stakeholders, assessing critical gaps, prioritizing suitable high-impact practices and other interventions, known as HIPs and HIIs, securing and utilizing funding and resources, organizing and empowering implementation teams, planning and executing the rollout of HIPs and HIIs, coordinating with partners, using data to monitor and improve programming, reviewing and adjusting plans and practices each year. To support local governments, TCI deploys its managerial and technical coaching, along with seed funding. The coaches provide technical support in implementing HIPs and HIIs such as designated days in facilities for family planning services, 72-hour facility makeovers, community health worker training, and advocacy for family planning funding. Guidance and resources for implementing these interventions can be found online in TCI University. These activities result in TCI's 2 main intermediate outcomes represented by the 2 circles at the center of the theory of change. The inner circle shows the first intermediate outcome, the scale-up of family planning HIPs and HIIs. By increasing coverage, conducting quality implementation, and incorporating them into local policies and practices. The outer circle represents the second intermediate outcome: strengthen health system capacity in support of HIPs and HIIs. This is achieved through improving local government staff capacity, increasing leadership and ownership of family planning programs, increasing local spending on those programs, improving the quality of HMIS reporting, and increasing the use of data for decision-making. Activities conducted by the local government contribute to both intermediate outcomes. Now, let's take a look at the primary outcomes, or POs, that stem from the intermediate ones. PO1 is the increased voluntary uptake of modern contraceptive methods. PO2 is the greater local government self-reliance in the effective implementation of family planning, HIPs and HIIs. Scale-up of HIIs and HIPs leads to both contraceptive uptake and government self-reliance. Health systems strengthening in support of FP also leads to government self-reliance. Moreover, self-reliance contributes to the achievement of the contraceptive uptake outcome. Meanwhile, TCI's coaching and seed funding supports both intermediate outcomes as well as PO2 on self-reliance. Underlying these are the various components of the TCI platform that allow the hubs, global aggregator, and TCI's partners to support local governments while achieving greater efficiency, TCI's third primary outcome. Achieving the 3 POs is how TCI gets to its goal of facilitating the greater self-reliance of local governments to scale up high-impact interventions, leading to sustained improvements in urban health systems and increased use of modern contraception, especially among the urban poor. And that's TCI's theory of change. As a TCI-trained coach, I hope I have been helpful in explaining the actors, activities, and outcomes needed to achieve TCI's goal. And now, I need to get back to work helping women in my community access family planning information and services.